Can something as terrifying as Ebola actually be made worse by violence and insecurity? It sounds like a scene from a nightmare, but it's the stark reality unfolding right now, and it's something we absolutely need to be paying attention to. Before we dive deeper into this deeply troubling situation, if you want to stay on top of everything happening not just globally, but how it impacts us, especially in US politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and ensures you don't miss critical updates. The World Health Organization, often our first line of defense and information in global health emergencies, has delivered a stark warning. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the Director General, stated that violence and insecurity are not just hindrances, but active impediments to responding to a deeply worrisome Ebola outbreak in the Congo. This isn't a minor inconvenience. It's a crisis within a crisis, a situation where the very forces meant to combat a deadly disease are instead fueling its spread. The context here is crucial. The Democratic Republic of Congo has a long and painful history with Ebola. This latest outbreak, while perhaps not as widespread as some past ones, is being described as particularly concerning due to these new obstacles. The World Health Organization is on the ground, trying to implement protocols, track cases, administer vaccines, and provide critical care. But their efforts are being actively sabotaged. The AP reports a truly alarming incident. Fires erupted at an Ebola treatment center in Rwampara. Why? Because people were prevented from retrieving a local man's body. Now, this might seem like a localized dispute, but it speaks to a much larger, more insidious problem. In communities grappling with the trauma of disease and death, there can be deeply held beliefs and traditions surrounding how bodies are handled. When those traditions are perceived to be violated, even by health workers trying to prevent further spread of the virus, it can ignite intense anger and distrust. And tragically, that anger is being directed at the very people trying to save lives. The core of the problem is this: Ebola is a frightening disease, and fear is a powerful emotion. When fear is combined with pre-existing tensions, distrust in authorities, or outright hostility, it can create a volatile environment. In many of these areas, there are also ongoing conflicts, armed groups, and general insecurity. This means that teams and local health workers are not just battling a virus. They are often operating in zones where their safety is not guaranteed. Think about what this means practically. An Ebola treatment center, a place that should be a beacon of hope and healing, becomes a target for arson. The resources needed to contain the outbreak, supplies, personnel, transportation, are put at risk. Access to affected communities is restricted, making contact tracing and case management incredibly difficult. It allows the virus to spread unchecked in hidden pockets, making it harder to detect and control. The implications are profound. If the response is consistently hampered by violence, the outbreak could spiral. It's not just a regional problem. Ebola can cross borders. The potential for a larger, more devastating epidemic increases with every delay, every attack, every moment of insecurity. This also puts immense strain on the dedicated healthcare workers who are often locals themselves, deeply embedded in their communities, and now facing threats from both the virus and potentially their own neighbors. We're seeing a confluence of factors that create a perfect storm: a deadly pathogen, a population grappling with fear and potentially misinformation, and an environment of instability and conflict. The WHO's warning is a call to action, not just for international bodies, but for governments and local leaders to address the underlying issues that are fueling this violence and insecurity. Without a secure and stable environment, the best medical interventions in the world can be rendered ineffective. So what do you think about this? Is the world doing enough to address the root causes of this violence that's fueling the Ebola outbreak? Or are we just treating the symptoms? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. This is a complex, deeply concerning development in the fight against one of the world's most feared diseases. The fight for health is being weaponized, and the consequences could be dire. We will continue to monitor this situation closely.